Hello. If you take a close look at my layout, you see a bunch of screws laying around, and you can probably see that the track has not been fastened down again. I still have not tightened down the track here by the switches on this side or on the other side. And there's a very good reason for that. The problem is that Lionel makes me mad. I just am so annoyed with what has been happening with these switches. The instructions for how to wire the switches are pretty clear. They tell us that we need to do an accessory circuit, how we need to go about doing it, what we need to do, and I did that exactly as the instructions describe, and it didn't work. I ended up having excess power drawing from my GW180 transformer, which is my newest one. I had short circuit on my CW80 transformer for track 2, and I could not get that to be corrected. It just would not correct. So Lionel sent me this wiring diagram of what's inside the switch, and perhaps that would help me. Well, no, not really. Here there's a motherboard, here there's some resistors and other microelectronics. What they have done is taken what was a pretty simple, pretty straightforward electromechanical system and introduced to it additional circuitry and electronics that is great if you're running Trainmaster Command and Control or their other legacy systems. But if you are running a fairly simple, straightforward Lion Chief Plus, or Lion Chief Plus 2.0 system, it's not going to work for you. The switches that I put together, I put in exactly the same places as my earlier switches. I wired them exactly the same way, according to the instructions that Lionel provided, and the result was nothing works. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. If I have the switches wired to an accessory circuit, which is my preference, then the switches will work as long as I have track 2 power shut off and track 1 power at the lowest setting, just the accessory circuit side of the transformer generating power. As soon as I try to run a train, the power overloads, doesn't work, and the track 2 shorts out. Shouldn't happen. There is isolating sections between track 1 and track 2, and I can show you right here. This is an isolating section. There's one on either side of the switches on track 2. The center rail has a break in it, and that break means that there should be no electricity that's able to run between those tracks when it's not powered up. But the fact is, electricity runs through them regardless, and it overpowers the GW180 transformer and it shorts out the CW80 transformer. So right now, I have to tell you, I'm really angry with Lionel. I don't understand why they send out instructions that aren't accurate. I don't understand why they make changes with their electronics in their switches without taking into consideration the fact that not everybody is running Trainmaster Command and Control, and I don't understand why they can't get this thing straight. It just seems like they ought to be able to include a bypass on here, a way to switch off the additional circuitry, or they ought to be able to include that in the instructions so that you know what to disconnect and be able to run your trains the way they were before. Right now, I ended up putting the track jumpers back in the switches on the other side, so those switches on the other side have the track jumpers back in them, and they work. I put the track jumpers back in the switches on this side, and they don't work. So it's a very complex, puzzling problem, and I'm not really at all happy with our friends at Lionel. I think that they really need to take a look at their documentation. They really need to take a look at this problem, and they really need to come up with a solution. That's my rant for today. I enjoy doing these videos for you. I hope you enjoy them. Sooner or later, we'll come up with a solution to this problem and we'll get everything running. I'm afraid it might be later, however. In the meantime, we can make do, and I could run the trains around the tracks. I just can't switch them between the tracks. So until we can get to do that, we won't have the full functionality that we'd like. So please, again, I invite you to like, subscribe, and share this video, and add any comments that you may have. If you have a solution to this problem, you will be my hero. So I look forward to hearing any comments that you might have, and I appreciate your time and your attention to watching it. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.